All right, welcome to our final feature match here for Week 5 Foundations League. I'm here with Raphael, getting the band back together, so to speak, here on
Hello?
commentary. Yes, hello. And we got Johnny here, who is one of our original members here, Player of the Year, multiple-time league winner, so on and so forth. Up against a new player in our league, just joined last league, John D, or Daily Draft, who is a one of our content creators. He records all of his matches and puts them on YouTube. So it'll be interesting to see this match from both points of view here. What's he
It's
got
gonna be an
working on
interesting
there?
game indeed. I'm not sure what's going on. There seems to be a message. I don't know if something froze, but from what I can see currently, he's got two lands: the Swamp and Evolving Wilds, Stab, Hungry Ghoul, the Vengeful Blood Witch, the Nine Lives Matter, and then one piece. Well, I guess the second piece of removal and Overwhelming Remorse.
Okay.
So the majority of the hand is playable. Just needs one more land. What's our boy Johnny working with?
Yeah, so Johnny's got the worst looking card I've ever seen that he just played. That Evolving Wilds that does not look like a magic card. He's got Ashroot Animist in hand, Beastkin Ranger, Meteor Golem, and a snow covered forest and snow covered swamp in hand. So he has some Jun deck. I know he called his deck No Alesha. That was the name of the deck.
Ah,
So
yes, because the human. You cannot play the humans in week 5 of
and
Plane Chase League.
that may be the best card that he had or close to it. Um,
Yes.
I did do a little bit of research. I watched a few of his John D's videos, and he has been running this Rakdos deck pretty much almost from the start here. Aggressively slanted, a little bit of sacrifice, but yeah, I mean he's been doing well. He's at 14-6, so he is primed for a top 8 run if he gets a few wins this week. Johnny is at 12-9, so I have to say that I am doing a little bit of scouting here since if he loses, I will be his next opponent since we do have
Are
our
you ready?
tradition. I mean, I suspect that either way, that match is going to be taking place this week since I'm at 8 losses, he's at 9 losses, so something's got to give.
What if you guys just both don't lose any more games this week, and we take it
And we'll play next week then.
right to week 6,
Yeah,
A very fitting time.
yeah. Yeah, so they're both early in the week here. Johnny at 21 matches, John D at 20. And Johnny's got a pretty assertive start here. Yes, like one of the weaknesses of these like black red sack stuff deck is like big stuff with trample, right?
It's your biggest weakness is you want time to get set up, right? Meanwhile,
Yeah,
these
and
big
like
dumb idiots are literally just punching you right in the throat.
yeah, and trample is the big thing because a lot of the time you can like put like blockers in play, sack them for value, this, that, and the other thing. Like a
Yeah,
sanitarium skeleton or reassembling skeleton or whatever, 9 lives
like
familiar,
yeah, Nine
all
Lives
that
Familiar
good
would be
stuff.
absolutely wonderful here, but I'm not really sure anything really does too much.
Not against
Now,
the
what John
trample.
Yeah, I think the Hungry Goal costs one to sack, right?
Does he have an Eaten Alive in hand or no?
No, he has
Mm,
that stab from earlier, so his removal is stab
yes.
and remorse. So if he had one more untapped mana, he could eat the cat, block the 4/4, then stab, and then kind of just hold up the overwhelming remorse to kind of stop this, aggression coming down. But it's not quite probably going to play out that way.
Yep. I mean, Ashford Animus is like your textbook big dumb gruel creature, but it hits hard. Like, it does die to removal and like doesn't come in and do anything. It does have to attack, et cetera, et cetera. But when it does, it's so much power. Like it's
That's
ridiculous how
Gruel
much
Life,
power.
right?
Yeah.
Gruel Life.
Well, as I said, it's your textbook big cruel creature, right? Like
Step. What was the first
if you
step
get
of the
to
Gruel
untap and
Index?
attack, you're good.
What's the
Gruel
first?
index was what? It's a creature. It's a creature. It's a creature. I think were the first three
Yes.
qualifiers,
Yes, that's the most important part. Is
and
it a
then
creature?
and then it was like trample and haste were the other.
Yes.
So it's a 4 out of 5 on the Gruel index, I suppose.
Everything else is just added.
Yeah, so Abyssal Harvester in hand for Johnny, as well as Meteor Golem and 2 tap lands.
Ooh.
But the beats are coming real hard here.
Yeah,
like
I guess it
like
makes sense. You just kind of stave off one damage over him or remorse the animist, and then kind of hope to stabilize a little bit after that.
Yeah. So overwhelming remorse costs one less for each creature in your graveyard. Is that what it was?
I'm not 100% sure if it's just card or creature. I haven't seen this card
Okay.
since God knows when.
Well, bro, that's fun.
I forgot it came from Bro. Right now, yeah, it's creature, I would assume. It just
Okay.
costed 4 when the cat was in the graveyard. Now it's back to 5.
Oh, so
That
the
That's going to be
cat,
the whole turn.
but okay, so he has a land. He's just going to play his land and bite the bullet here.
I would assume so. I guess it's a matter of. I don't know why you want to wait for Johnny's turn. I guess if anything, just to wait for the before combat.
Yeah, like these decks are usually pretty good against like green or Gruul decks, but when the creatures have trample, it's a different story if you don't remove them.
Yeah, it's just the bane of most decks, right? Like you just don't really want to see trample.
They just put trample on a lot more creatures nowadays, I think, because
Ooh, okay, I
because
like
because
this
because of
play.
how good some of these sack decks have become.
So what John can do, and he just almost did it, is sack one of his guys to the ghoul to make the remorse cost 1 less.
Yeah.
So you can sack cat. Remorse will cost 4, so you can use the remorse and still get the creature back and the counter instead
All
of just
right.
casting the remorse for full value
All
or
right.
full mana.
Very cute. Very cool. All right.
I like it.
Ice Hide Troll off the top here for Johnny, which is a snow card. Yeah, I was mentioning before. It's like I feel like when my opponent's plays like a snow card, I'm like, what league is this? Just because like I have like one call time card in my deck.
Yeah, like
I'm
some
like
people just.
snow.
Troll's
What?
a great
How?
reason to
Where?
play.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Troll's a great reason. I've definitely been blood on the snow twice by someone.
Oh, really?
Sometimes
Yikes.
when the snow hits.
Yeah, Sculptor of Winter is good too. The mana dork for untapping snowlands.
Sculptor of Winter. I'm not familiar with that one.
This is a 2 mana 2/2 tap it to untap a snowland. Yeah.
I'm really racking my brain here. But this 3/3 could be a bit of trouble. Well, I guess next turn it'll be a little better once the Hungry Ghoul can grow.
Yeah,
Throw one, two, three, four, five,
it's
six.
getting dicey here.
I mean, Johnny's just one turn away from having Meteor Golem. That kind of just cleans most of this game up for the most part.
Yeah, just get rid of the hungry ghoul.
Yeah, John's gonna need some help off the top of the deck. I mean, I don't. Maybe he has a cute little trick he can do.
I know one of his paths to victory has been his many rare goblins that he has, but none of them have showed their face here.
Tell me more about these many rare goblins.
I believe there's two sear slicers and there's a Krenko as well.
Oh, that's pretty good.
Well, he's 14 and 6 for a reason.
I mean, with Johnny's lack of interaction in this game, I didn't really see the first 2 turns, but I guess the Seer Slicer would have gone off.
Possibly, yeah. I mean, good card. But I mean, like we said, Johnny had a pretty scary start here. We're just playing
Yeah.
a
Ooh,
medium sized trampler into a gigantic trampler.
Ooh, that's gonna be a really good way to deal with the cat, right?
Abyssal Harvester is a good way to deal with a lot of things.
Yeah. You can just yoink it before it comes back.
Yeah, the draw for Johnny was Reeve Soul, which is destroy a creature of power 3 or less.
That's unfortunate. You can't really nab the goal, right?
Sure can't. Yeah, Johnny's deciding what kind of attacks he wants to make, and I think he says maybe just the Ice Side Troll. Okay, because he can get indestructible here.
It makes sense, right? Like the 3/3 trampler is just pretty well positioned on this board.
Yeah, I mean this is kind of just like a free block for John D. But I mean, Johnny says I'll make him do it. I'll take a counter off the cat.
Hmm. We're gonna get off the top. Do some thinning real quick, make the hits more likely to pop up. Sear Slicer is probably not what we want at this point in the game, especially with a Reef Soul on the other side, but he doesn't know that. And the Draws Mountain. That's unfortunate.
Mm, yeah, I mean he's not dead yet. He still has some life to play with and a large creature there. But if Johnny does get the meteor goal next turn, it's gonna be tough.
Yeah. It's can Johnny get this ghoul off the board so he can kind of start punching? Oh, I like it. I like it. It's kind of crazy
Okay.
how much work this little 3 card synergy is doing.
Well, normally he wants to do that during opponent's turn, but Johnny's going to be untapping with the Abyssal Harvester here, so he
Yeah.
wants to not do that during opponent's turn, or really ever again until the Abyssal Harvester is tapped um, you know, or dead.
So I've never seen it happen. If you blink the cat, does it reset the lives?
It only comes in with counters if you cast the cat.
So if you blink it, does it lose all the counters?
Correct.
Ooh. Ooh.
So if Johnny makes a copy of it, or if Johnny brings it back from the graveyard, it will not have counters on it.
Okay, so it's like a stray. They don't quite get all 9 lives. They've been used up.
Yeah, well, it says it enters with 8 counters if you cast it.
Fair. I've never
That's
cast
how
the
it be.
card. What can I say? The Orzhov life is not the life for me.
What about the Rakdos though?
The Rakdos is the life for me. I really haven't had a chance to play with it yet, though.
Interesting here. Yeah, I think John's like he's figuring out how much snow mana, and the answer is enough. Yes, the Abyssal
He's got one,
Harvester
two, three, four.
is gonna put a real damper here in John's sacrifice scheme.
I mean, I guess you give up the ghoul. I mean, does it really matter?
So Johnny drew for turn a Vengeful Reaper, which is a 4 mana 2/3 flying haste death touch. It also has Foretell. So that
That's
could
gonna be a little annoying.
so that could get in for some surprise damage on a future turn.
Not to mention, like the Vengeful Blood Witch has been doing pretty good.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just kind of like keeping them stable. But that's just gonna throw that idea out the window.
Johnny's deciding, do I want a Diagraph Ghoul to add to my collection of creatures? And I think he says, maybe not. Okay, he says, you know what? He's thinking John's a good player. He's probably not going to give me a better target while
Well,
my
I mean,
I'm
also,
going
I
bad.
think you just
So
kind of play to your hand, right? Like he has a meteor golem that should come down sooner or later. He can hard cast this
oh, so he is
2/3, right?
just going to play the 2/3 here rather than like try and save it for a future turn.
Well, it makes sense. Like John
Yeah,
might try and get in for a punch. I doubt it, but maybe he does if he gets something good.
yeah. Johnny hasn't been being attacked very much, but the Vengeful Blood Witch has been triggering a lot.
Yeah, like this witch has done all the work.
Yeah, I mean it shines in a deck like this, right? Like this is like the best shell for it. So
These
sacrifice
lands
shell.
are not helping though.
No, not at all.
So he's gonna get one more sack off.
When you strike while the iron is hot, or while the harvester is tapped, as it were.
Oh yeah, right. Get him while you can. I guess he's thinking about it. I'm not. I don't know what the other ideas would be. I think it's just a clear sack the cat, pass the turn, right?
Might as well, yeah. I mean, not too much else to do, unfortunately, if he doesn't have spells to cast.
Wow, sadly lands, that
Yeah.
whole one return clause, and these lands don't really change the game that much. It's funny, John hasn't really given Johnny too many targets, really any targets for this Reef Soul.
Well, I mean, the Blood Witch is a pretty decent target.
I don't even think Johnny really cares, to be honest, though, right? You got a 2/3 flyer.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh,
it's annoying how much mileage John's got from the Blood Witch triggers. Like, really huge amount.
I'll say this much. I don't know why. I was confusing the 2/3 with the 2/3 from Foundations that has Death Touch and Lifelink.
Oh, the Vampire Nighthawk. Yeah, no, this one is
Yeah.
we'll say worse, but still a solid card. All right,
And
well,
this is going to feel really bad if Johnny top decks a land.
all right. Johnny for turn drew Elderfang Disciple, known known more commonly to us this set as a burglar rat, but
So
it's an elf with the same text.
there's no taps on the ground. I guess you just swing in the air. I mean, you have the diagraph token. You got the last card out of his hand. It's gotta feel like a good time. Like start beating. Oh, okay. Is it time to get rid of the Blood Witch?
It's been time for a while, but now it's finally absolutely time.
Johnny's like, you've annoyed me enough. You're just that roach in the house I just can't kill.
Yeah, I mean that Blood Witch has
4,
been
5, 6,
keeping
7, 8,
John
9, 10,
alive
11,
here.
12, 13.
And now Johnny says, "I wish to have it."
Interesting.
Yeah, Johnny says, "I'll take that." So I don't know how well John's deck works from behind. I know it's pretty assertive, so I might have trouble finding ways to fight against everything that's going on here.
Yeah, I would assume not. Like if the deck plays the way you explained it to me, I know these combo decks or like these synergy decks really start to fall off. The synergy can't be maintained. And I mean, like drawing all these lands off the top did not help at all.
Yeah, I don't know if he has a board wipe, but the eyesight troll can get indestructible. So
Yeah.
board wipe be damned. All right, Johnny's just going for max damage here.
I mean, you got two blockers left behind, right? What do you die to? A random way to give this guy flying in black and red? Probably not going to happen.
Overrun.
Perforating Artist is the draw for the turn.
Right, doesn't quite do enough.
No. I mean, at this life, Johnny would literally just take the 3 and call it a day.
Oh yeah,
If you swing both, you're just dead on the crackback, no matter how you swing it.
yeah. I mean, even attacking with one of them is bad.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't know about the meteor golem, but I mean, like, I don't know. At what point do you turn the corner, right?
Well, you're going to need a bigger board than your opponent in order to do that, or something that can,
Yeah.
something with an attack trigger that can pull you back in here.
I don't know. Let's see. Maybe John might cook something up. I did like with the cat, though. I completely forgot that you can sack it twice in a turn if you wait for the end step trigger.
Johnny
I
says,
mean,
"Yeah, I'll trade. I don't mind. I get a Blood Witch trigger
I'm
at the end of the
into it,
turn."
I guess John's wondering if he should sack it. I think you just kind of take one more creature off the field, but I guess he's going to sack it.
Interesting. I mean,
Yeah.
he's denying him a Blood Witch trigger if that's something he cares about. But with the life totals as precarious as they are, I assume that is, not a small issue
Yeah.
that Johnny now has the. Oh, he's got a Zombify, but nothing too impressive to get from the graveyard.
Oh, yeah. The 4/4 was exiled, wasn't it?
Yep.
A little unfortunate.
All
Well,
right.
isn't it just lethal, though, if he just swings everything? 2 in the
I
air, Blood was
imagine with
triggered.
the Blood Witch, yes, and no cards in hand. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, he's gonna take basically six here. Yeah. All right, so I'm registering the data points in my head about Johnny's deck since, like I mentioned, I'll be meeting up with him for a match likely this week. He is playing more or less like just straight three colors, no discernible splash color really.
Would he be considered Vader?
We try not to use derogatory terms while doing broadcasts.
Would he be considered artistically stretching the mana to play more powerful cards?
I suppose so. It's just when you have two drops of all three colors, it's just it gets hard sometimes. I mean, he had no
I
problem
agree.
there. He had the fixing. He made it work. You know, he lost. Seemingly one of the best cards that he had, which is Alesha. So he
Card
has
is pretty
to
good.
Gotta make do.
Pretty good. So is he doing any siding at all, or just kind of like checking things out? Maybe he might want to do something in game three.
He's thinking about it. Interesting that he has a. I think I saw Return of the Wild speaker in his sideboard.
Would you main deck that card?
That card's just real good. It's either draw cards equal to your highest power among non-humans, or your non-humans get +3/+3.
Fair, huh? Huh.
Maybe it was a different card that I saw. I will say my opponent yesterday had that card, and because they had a changeling in play, it was not live somehow. Somehow this card
Wait.
that benefits all of your non-humans did not actually benefit my opponent.
Ah, because shapeshifters are the human also, right?
Yeah, they had a changeling, so
Interesting.
they
Interesting.
couldn't draw cards equal to its power, nor could they pump it.
So are you telling me that Arena recognizes shapeshifters as humans on the field?
Hashtag changelings are human.
I'm just saying.
Remember.
I'm just saying. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was discussing it with some of the other people that were commentating today. So, like, how do you feel about this week's twist just being like somewhat arbitrary of how badly it can screw somebody over?
That's restrictions 101 though, right? Like, in Lord of the Rings, twos are what, evens or odds? Maybe all your good cards are in evens, maybe they're in odds, maybe they're split. Like no matter
Yeah,
what, someone's getting shafted by a restriction.
yeah. My thought is if you do evens or odds, like everybody just has to build a new deck.
Yeah.
But in this case, like some decks, like somebody has to completely scrap their deck or change a color, and other people are like, I'll just take out these three cards and move on with my life.
Which is
Like,
fair. I mean, you just kind
yeah.
of do what you do though. You just hope for the best.
Yeah, I mean that's plain chase. We like we signed up for we signed up for it knowing that there may be some weeks that will take us off course in a way that is not super desirable.
Yeah. Really quickly, so what John's working with in
Yeah,
hand is
what's we got here?
man, I want to call it a monkey, but it's not a monkey.
Is it a
It's a
fanatical
goblin, right?
firebrand?
Yeah. The Reef, so he's casting now. The Vampire Gourmand. The Hungry Ghoul is back for round two. And Perforating Artist has decided that he wants to show up now instead of later.
Okay, sounds solid here. Nice. A Priest of the Haunted Edge. That's a nice snow card here, but it got killed off. John said, "I don't want to lose my creature to it." Yeah, John's got a Vampire Gourmand. I didn't see too much sack fodder on his end, but the card just is still stands on its own a good portion of the time.
Yeah, I'm not sure how much you want to play it, though, if you don't have things that you're willing to get rid of for it.
Yeah,
But I guess,
it's
worst case scenario, it's a two drop, right? Two drop, 2/2. Cool,
yeah.
one rate. I'm cool with that.
Johnny was actually leaning pretty heavily on the Priest of the Haunted Edge to get him through this first portion of the game because the rest of his hand is Incinerating Blast, which is the 5 mana removal, a Meteor Golem, and 3 lands.
Ugh.
But off the top comes the Abyssal Harvester. So
Well,
yeah,
hello, buddy. Welcome back.
yeah, he had a very big impact on the last game. So
Yeah, I mean, John's hand is slanted towards like just swinging forward, I believe. You have 1/3, 2/2, still ghoul, Drew land for turn, and the artist. I'm surprised he didn't swing with the 1/3. I guess he's scared of something. I guess.
well, it's a 3/2 on the other side. So
You know what? That is a very fair point.
yes.
In my head, I'm thinking, man, this cipher is just gonna be swinging for days.
I mean, oh, Binding of the Old Gods. That's a nice one here.
That's a banger, and I know bangers.
Yeah, my Sanguine Siphoner, at least in my league deck, has chump attacked many times just to get a life game trigger.
Oh, I guess he didn't discard a card, did he?
No, yeah, he discarded a land and he drew another land.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say I was like interesting he went for that route, but I guess mana efficiency also plays a role.
Yeah, I'd be like slightly cautious about not wanting to discard a land when I have a Meteor Golem in play, but he picked up another land. So, well, here's the Hungry Ghoul. One
Sadly,
of the stars of Kaladesh.
this
Ooh.
could be a little rough for John from this point forward. He only has a Shivan Dragon in hand, and like, don't get me wrong, these creatures are good, but I mean, like, Siphoner isn't really made for this deck. It's just a filler 2 drop. Gourmet and Hungry Ghoul both want sack fodder.
Yeah, I'll say I'm a bit surprised to see Sanguine Siphoner in a non-life gain deck in week 5.
Yeah, you'd rather have that be, I don't know, the 1/1 or just anything that makes a body or comes
Yeah,
back, just something.
yeah. If you're playing the life gain deck, you probably just never cut Sanguine Siphoner until the end. But
Yeah. And even
If you're
then, it
not
still might do work
liking,
towards the end.
uh, if your payoffs are good enough, you basically don't cut anything that can gain you life potentially repeatable times. So land number 7 here means that there is a meteor golem that can do something. He also has binding of the old gods, which can kill anything. So Johnny is just he's currently in control of this, more or less here, because he does have the
Yes.
answers. He does have a source of damage here with the perforating artist that you know John doesn't really want to trade for.
Yeah, it's John. I mean, yeah, John has like a board wipe. I think Johnny says it kind of like cruise this one home.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard here. I mean, he like I know like a lot of John's bombs are aggro based or like like Krenko is not going to do a lot on this board. Seer Slice of
No,
Goblins will do next to nothing. Now Johnny's deciding if having a vampire gourmand is better than a perforating artist, and I don't think it is, but I'm sure Johnny will come to the right decision. Yeah, yeah. Johnny
no.
said I prefer having the artist here, and there goes a
I was
shooting
gonna say
dragon.
I might want the Gorman though with the giant. That's just like free value to keep your hand nice and stocked, right? Oh
Yeah.
well, actually, you know what? I guess Shivan Dragon's pretty good too.
Yeah, I think he. I mean, what is he supposed to do? Lose 3 life? I guess.
This
Yeah,
feels bad. He
yeah.
goes for
Abyssal
Overwhelm
Harvester
Remorse.
just does all sorts of stuff.
Like you can remorse the harvester, but it's kind of already done the job.
Yeah, I remember early in the format, somebody just milled like a coma on turn 3 with some random card, and then I just Abyssal Harvester like their coma that they milled
Oh,
randomly.
that is such a terrible feeling.
Yeah, game ended like on the spot.
So what is John going to do? You have no tax. I highly doubt you want to use his Overwhelming Remorse now. You probably want to use it defensively, kind of like set Johnny back if he just swings with the Shivan Dragon. And that's
Yeah,
it.
Johnny has another rule in hand here, so he has Reef Soul and the Binding of the Old God, so it's just a matter of time here, more or less. And I mean, the Shivan Dragon will just kill on its own.
Is John just priced into taking this, or is he waiting for Johnny to use more mana? Okay, yep.
See, Shivan Dragon is not really good in this set, but it's good when you pay 0 mana for it.
Oh yeah, the Shivan Dragon is good when your opponent puts it in their deck and you get to
Yeah.
take it.
It's going to bind the old gods here. It's going to be sacrificed, but yeah, John is doing his best here to stay alive and make a competitive game out of this, but it's tough here.
The cards are just not stacking up the way we need them to, and the draws are just not working the way we need them to either.
Yeah, it's just yeah, like with the way John's deck is, it's really hard to come back when from a situation like this. I mean, it's hard with any deck to come back from a situation like that, but particularly one that's a bit more aggressively slanted. So Johnny has avoided his match with me for the time being, but congratulations to him for the victory here, and thanks for watching.